Okay, I got it wrong. Let's look at the evidence once more. The birthday card to Clara from Jake, thanking her for support, and stating he is in AA. The letter in the drawer, from Clara's mother who asks Clara to break it off with her boyfriend because he isn't kind to her, and also the envelope next to the letter, stating that Clara's mother lives in Los Angeles, and gives us Clara's address too. The receipt by the bin, of someone paying for valid parking by the Fantasia Amore on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's, and also gives us a time span for the parking service. The note by the phone, telling us there are 3 guests invited, Edward, Jenny, and Jake. The list of restaurants in the drawer under the phone, where we find that Fantasia Amore is a restaurant. The calendar on the wall, this is clearly Clara's. She noted down some important dates, the date of her birthday, a doctor's appointment, and a trip to Los Angeles from the 11th to the 17th of February. A woman's handbag, here we find a matchbook from the Fantasia Amore, a lipstick that doesn't stain, and nicotine patches. In the kitchen bin we find a glass of pills, which is basically poison when mixed with alcohol. These are picked up on the 14th of April. On the kitchen desk, we find a wallet which includes the driver's license for someone named Henry, a business card to Edward the lawyer, and a business card to an abortion clinic. Next to the wallet is a day planner, this is Henry's. He noted down some important dates in there, and we can see he made a reservation on the 14th of February, a company meeting, a doctor's appointment, and Clara's birthday. On the fridge we find a note, that is written by Clara, asking someone to set the table, remember her cousin can't drink, and that Edward is left-handed. Let's look at the table. Seat 3 is toppled over, and there is an outline of a body and some blood, clearly whoever died, sat here. And at Seat 3's plate, you can see there is a smear of lipstick on the fallen wine glass. Seat 5, there is a big glass of what looks to be orange juice. Seat 1, this is unused, and it is clearly set to someone who is left-handed. Seat 2, here we can see the wine glass was moved from one side of the plate to the other, evident by the ring left behind on the coaster. Seat 4, here we get nothing at all. Let's take a look at the people involved. Henry is the only one not mentioned on the invite list, so he must be Clara's boyfriend. If we look at his driver's license, it has the same address as Clara on the letter from her mother. So now we are sure, Henry is Clara's boyfriend. And apparently they are going through some rough times, if we believe the letter from Clara's mother. Jenny, we aren't told anything about her at all. Besides, she is invited, so we can assume she is a friend of Clara's. Jake is Clara's cousin, we deduct this from the birthday card, and the note on the fridge, namely that he doesn't drink alcohol. He thanks Clara for her support, so we could believe they are close. Edward is a lawyer, we know this from the card in Henry's wallet. And we know he is invited to the birthday, so he clearly knows Clara well. However, he doesn't show up, we know this from the note on the fridge and the table, because we know Edward is left-handed, and the seat for someone who is left-handed is untouched. Clara the birthday girl, we don't know a whole lot about her either, besides her boyfriend is Henry, and we assume her guests are her friends. We know she is from Los Angeles, or at least that her mother lives in Los Angeles, and that she visited her in February. Now, at the time of writing this, I do know why I was wrong, and you get to see the right answer just as soon as I am done with prattling on. But let's pull the theory together. I can't claim I thought everything made sense, like the different doctor's appointments. I never made that fit into anything, either the doctors weren't named, or they were on dates that were not relevant. So let's ignore all the doctor's appointments. Maybe someone more clever than me figured something out about those doctor's appointments, but I simply can't make anything stick. Also, I don't know why Edward didn't come, or if it's important. Nor do I know why his card was in Henry's wallet. It is pretty clear that it's Henry who went to the Fantasia Amore on Valentine's, and the receipt by the bin is his, since his calendar states he should make reservations. And we know the Fantasia is a restaurant. The women's handbag has a matchbook from the Fantasia Amour, so we can safely assume that whoever owns this handbag is the one that went with him on Valentine's. And since we can see on Clara's calendar that she was in Los Angeles on Valentine's, it is not hers, but Jenny's handbag. In Jenny's handbag we find the lipstick that doesn't stain, and some patches from the pharmacy. All that tells us that she didn't drink of the glass by chair number 3, and it is not her who is dead, but Clara. Now this is where the evidence of what I originally thought, and what I later found to be the right solution differs. I originally thought that Henry had procured those pills in the garbage because of the doctor's appointment in his calendar, and the pills need a doctor to sign off on them. And the table is to some extent easy enough. Jake is number 5, because of the juice. Edward is 1, because of the left-hand cutlery setup. Clara is number 3, because of the lipstick smear. But who is 2, and who is 4? And this is where I struggled a little. I mean, it's obvious that whoever sat in chair number 2 is the killer. Very Agatha Christie, somehow. But I think they drugged their own glass, and then moved their glass close to Clara, so they could easily swap the glasses without anyone noticing. And as I said, I thought Henry was the killer, and the one who had been sitting in seat number 2. And that was because he was, point 1, having an affair, so he wasn't happy either. And then there was the lawyer card in his wallet. Perhaps he wanted a divorce? And perhaps that is why Edward didn't come, as he didn't want to deal with it all, if Clara was his friend? And also I thought, as I said, that the pills were procured through the doctor on the appointment listed in Henry's day planner. But no. So I had to go back in and look it over again. And perhaps I think my own theory is kinda more solid than what the solution actually is. The killer is Jenny. But I can't help but to feel like the evidence is contradicting itself somehow. Anyway, Jenny had an affair with Henry. And we still assume she was Clara's friend. She would have known Clara and Henry was on rocky grounds. Then why do something like that? Unless she wasn't Clara's friend, but then, why was she there? I mean, I don't really think the evidence stacks up. But since I have 2 to choose from, and it isn't Henry, it must be Jenny. So I tried to find anything to support that theory. There is a card to an abortion clinic in Henry's wallet. I guess that is for an appointment for Jenny? And the reason Jenny has nicotine patches in her handbag is because she wants to keep the baby? We simply don't know. Because as I said, no name of any doctor repeats, so I can't tell who had an appointment with who. And I thought it was Clara's doctor's appointment, that was with the clinic. Not Jenny's. Also, I mean, you could stretch it a little and think. Jenny was at the pharmacy to get those patches. Could she have gotten those pills too? We don't know who got those pills, because there is only an address of the pharmacy, and the doctor's name on the bottle. None of that is repeated anywhere, so it could be anyone's pills. Even Jake's. And if Jenny is pregnant, and Henry clearly just wanted gone, how is that a relationship to murder someone for? And as I said, we don't even know if she is pregnant. So to end this, I really don't find the solution logical. But perhaps it doesn't have to be? Murder isn't logical to begin with. But really, I think they were too vague on the motive. Because all we really know is that Henry and Jenny had an affair. And fucking someone's husband doesn't make you a murderer. Just saying. I went online prior to writing this, just to see if I was the only one. And yeah, most find it logical that Jenny want Henry to herself. I just don't. If there was evidence for mental illness for Jenny, perhaps, yes. But there just isn't.